And so I'm going to start by saying not only Happy New Year, but Happy New You. Yeah. It's a Happy New You. And so how many in the audience have set your New Year's resolutions? Hang on. Sheesh. Thank you. For those who have set resolutions, not intentions, we'll get to that. How many have already dropped your resolution? Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Well, good. Because it's not, it's about setting the intention. So today's talk is intention or will. Intention or will. But before we talk about intention or will, let's back up before I said before we talk about, because I really do mean we. I hear myself talk all the time. You should hear the people in my head. So, and what I mean by that is I will talk to you, and it's okay for you to talk back. It's really okay. It truly is. Okay? Okay. Good. But before we can get to intention or will, what do we have to have? We have to have the desire. Desire comes first, because I'm going to have a desire that I want to intend my desire to come to fruition, or I'm going to will my intention in my desire into being. So let's talk about will. Will comes first. I mean, not will, but desire. Desire comes first. I need to take a breath because I am so excited to be here. And I can feel me going, slow down. There it is. Yes. So, desire comes first. But now, in the Buddhist traditions, it is written that desire is the creation of suffering. But it's not so much the desire that is the cause of suffering, it is the attachment to the outcome of the desire. See, because we are created in the spiritual image and likeness of God, which means that we are creators, and in order for us to create, we have to have a desire, right? For example, Spirit has desired you to be here, period. Not just here in the building, but here on this beautiful spiritual plane called Earth. So desire is absolutely first. I want to read a couple of things on desire. One of my favorite quotes is from Christian D. Larson in The Pathway of Roses. Great book. If you don't have it, I highly recommend this read. Christian D. Larson goes in to say on page 8, desire that which you desire, and desire with all the power of mind and soul. You invariably receive what we desire, no more, no less. He goes on to say in a different paragraph, the great essential is to desire with the whole heart. That is, to give our desires all the life and power that we can possibly arouse from the depths of the invincible being. Sit with that for a moment. Desire with all that you have. And here's the thing about the desire is your desire may change tomorrow. That's okay. That's okay. Whatever it is, desire with your entire being. With your entire being. Because we live in this universe, and we live within this conscious awareness that whatever we say and whatever we desire from that deep feeling, it must come to pass. There is an Arabic word that I love, abracadabra. Great word. Does anyone know what the word means? It used to be used in the healing field way back when, where healers would use that word and doing their work. And the results were so powerful that it seemed magical. The word means, abracadabra means, with my word I create. Or I create with my word. Love that. So whenever you, try this for fun. Whenever you have a desire and that comes to fruition, whenever you have an intention and it comes to fruition, then end it by going abracadabra, because with my word I create. Do you know how powerful that you really are? Wrong answer. Let me. I mean, that's great. But the question is, do you realize how powerful you are? Yes. Yes. Are there any in there that may have a little bit of doubt? No. And you know what? Doubt is fine. Because doubt for me reminds me that, wait a minute, that's not the truth of who I am. That's why I love prayer, because we can step into the affirmation and to affirm that I release all thought of doubt. Doubt gets in the way, but also doubt helps us to remember who and what we are. So, let's talk about intention or will. I want to talk about will first. I love the dictionary, one of my favorite books. I did not understand or did not realize that the word will had 7 or 8 different definitions. Oh man, it's mind-boggling. The English language is amazing. So I'm going to just pull one of the definitions for will out here. Will, used to express a command, exhortation, or injunction. You will do as I say at once, as the example. The other one is, we have a desire. The will is wanting to, I'm going to will this into being. That's just one of the aspects or the definitions of will. And sometimes when we are in this process of trying to will something into being, we find ourselves really stressed. And we sometimes strike the pose of Rodin's The Thinker. We're trying, how are we going to make this happen? How are we going to make this work? I need to will this into being, and we get worn out because it's not happening. Will also, if we put it in this way, I will be abundant. I will be magnificent. I will be laughing. I will be successful. I will have the relationship that, well, you know what happens with that particular will? It keeps it out in the future. Someday, I will be great. Someday, I will be healthy. Someday, I will be happy. We are willing, that's the next thing, to let go of our little small will and trying to will things into being. Now, the bridge from will to intention is willingness. There's a saying, where there's a will, there's a wall. But where there is willingness, there is a way. And with willingness, we don't need to know how it's going to happen. Are you willing to be greater than you have ever been before? Yes. Yes. Are you willing to at least take a look at being greater than you have ever been? Yes. See, the thing about willingness, we don't need to know how. The willingness opens us up to receive. So be willing to be magnificent. Be willing to be great. I brought all these notes and I don't need one of them. I love Spirit. Spirit's like, we're going to go this way now. Okay, exactly. Okay. So be willing to be the joy of God that you are. Gotta love Reverend Divine. Thank you. Are you willing to be the light that you were created to be? Are you willing to let go of all of that no longer serves you? Now, you may not know what that is, but I can give you a clue, at least a couple of clues. And the practitioners here can give you a couple of clues. Reverend Darlene can give you more than a couple of clues. But I'm going to throw out a few that you may not know that show up. One, which is real big, procrastination. Any procrastinators in the room? Not at all. I love that sign. Procrastinators Anonymous will meet tomorrow. Another thing that shows up that keeps us from shining our light is the not out enoughs. I don't know enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not old enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm blah, 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 blah. They're not enough. Get rid of that one too. Those things get in our way. What I love about willingness is, again, we do not need to know how to do whatever it is that we are willing to do. But the willingness, as I repeat myself, opens us up to hear the guidance. And then, again, as I was saying, the bridge from will to intention is willingness. Are we willing to intend what it is that we want to experience? Yes, we are. So now, intention. Want to go there? Yes, we do. Book of the month. La, 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 da, da, da. In chapter 1 of Dr. Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention, if you do not have this one, this is also a good read. Dr. Dyer quotes Carlos Castaneda. In the universe, there is a immeasurable, irreversible force which shamans call intent. And absolutely everything that exists in the entire cosmos is attached to intent by a connecting link. There's this one that here it is. Carlos Castaneda goes on to talk about intent. This is, what is that book from? Who cares? Intent is a force that exists in the universe. When sorcerers, those who live of the source, beckon intent, it comes to them and sets up the path for attainment, which means that sorcerers, again, those who live of the source, always accomplish what they set out to do. So being connected to source, which we always are, no matter what we think, when we look at it as the way that Carlos Castaneda writes, that's from Don Juan. Sorcerers are those who are living of source, or connected to source. So we are here to requalify words sometimes. So sorcerer, from this moment on, for what we are concerned about, sorcerer does not mean anything that has to do with evil and incantations and magic and all that. Well, magic, yes, because magic's a wonderful thing. But all the other dark stuff, sorcerers from now on for us means that we are of source, that we are connected to source. So how many in the room are sorcerers as of right now? Yes, abracadabra. So, Shazam. So intent. Let's talk about intent real fast because I only have another few moments. It's really difficult for me to keep the 20 minutes. I'm sure if you've heard me speak before, I say that I come from a long line of ministers and preachers. 20 minutes is just the introduction. It's like, okay, here we go. Intention. There is nothing more powerful to me than intention. Intention, when we set an intention, and then as Dr. Holmes says, move our feet, treat and move our feet, and when we set the intention to experience life in a greater way, no matter what that may look like for you, when we set that intention and say yes to it, and there is nothing that can stop us because we are connected with Source, there is nothing that can stop that intention from being brought to life. Nothing. I don't care what the experiences in the past have been. The important thing to remember about experience is that they're in the past. They're done. It's done. We get to learn from those experiences, absolutely. And we take the good from those experiences. We take that was not so good, and we learn from that. Then we can shove that off, and we intend to move forward. So I want you to tap into your heart's desire right now, and you don't need to speak it out loud. This is a brand new year. It's a brand new you. Every day is a brand new you. What do you intend to do? That's the first question. What do you intend to do this year? The more important question is, who do you intend on being as you are doing what you're doing? Oh, this is a crazy note. Shameless plug for a workshop here. So this afternoon, or this morning, 11:30, there's a workshop called The Way of the Christ. Doesn't have a whole lot to do with Yeshua Messiah. It has to do with your Christ presence that is within you, which also has to do with intention. So that was my shameless plug. Please come, because I intend to have you here. Intention. There's nothing more powerful than intention. Got to quote Dr. Holmes. Got to quote Dr. Holmes. Thought that was the Gong Show music, saying that I was done. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Dr. Holmes says, we are so one with the whole that what is true of it is also true of us. We are one with the unmanifest substance whose business it is to forever take form, and we are one with the law which gives form. The entire order is one of spontaneous being and spontaneous manifestation. The law, here we go, the law follows the word just as the word follows desire. The law follows the word just as the word follows the desire. The desire arises from the necessity of the universe to become self-expressed. Yes, I will read that again just for me. The desire arises from the necessity of the universe to become self-expressed. In other words, the universe has this desire to express itself, and it expresses itself only through you. So, in Scripture it says, in all thine getting, get understanding, which is great. Understand who we are. But I want to add from the Gospel of Eugene, in all thine getting, get out of the way. Get out of the way. How do I get in my way? I was speaking with Reverend Darlene and Reverend Divine last night, just briefly going, and this is why this trip for me today, down here this weekend, is so powerful. Because I have been, believe it or not, have been in this blue funk for a short while, where I would wake up in just this little small amount of fear, what I would really need to pray myself out of, and talk and affirm that, no, this is not the truth. This is not the truth. And I started to get in my own way. I started to get in the way of the universal presence wanting to express itself. I heard my voice go, stop it. Stop it. The other little voice, same voice, says, dude, you know you're tripping, right? Like, that's right, I am. This is not the truth of me, and this certainly, when that comes up for you, is not the truth of you. So intend to be fantastic, intend to dance, intend to sing, who cares if you think you can't sing? It doesn't matter. Dance, sing, create. And this is the full expression of God. Dr. Holmes uses the expression of the universe, but he's saying God, he's saying spirit, for there is no name to that infinite intelligence. So here's my question to you. And of course the answer is yes. See, I'm magic. I can tell the future. I know what you're going to say. Do you intend... No, not do you. Will you intend to be great? Yes. Told you I knew the answer. Except for there was more on this side, a little less than this side. What's happening over here? Do you intend to be in joy? Do you intend, ooh, this is a great one. Oh, fantastic. This is a great, do you intend to love unconditionally? Yes. Do you intend to love unconditionally? Yes. Do you intend to love your neighbor unconditionally? Yes. Well, that even stayed up higher. Good. Do you intend to love the person who may cut you off in traffic? Yes. Yes. You know why? Because it's not about them. It's all about us. When we give that love and when we give that joy, it has to come back. For that is the law of life. As we plant the seed, we get what we plant. So intend to plant seeds of love. Intend to plant seeds of joy. Intend to plant seeds of laughter. Intend to dance. Intend to sing. Intend only the highest and the best. And no matter what, stay inspired. Peace and blessings. And it is with great joy and gratitude that I speak this word. Recognizing first and foremost that God is all there is. I recognize this infinite intelligence as it continues to have full sway, as it expresses itself in, through, and as all things, everything that is seen and unseen. Everything that is known and unknown, I recognize that at the very essence of all of life is this infinite intelligence that I call God. And in recognizing that it is everywhere present, I know that it is right where I am, for it expresses itself in, through, and as the I am that I am. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of these divine expressions of God here at High Desert Centers for Spiritual Living. So it is in this awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word, for we intend to be the loving presence of God. We intend to be that healing presence of love. We are not here to use our little wills, but we are here to surrender our little wills to absolutely stay into and get into the vibration of the will of the divine. So knowing that we are already set free, knowing that all is well, knowing that life is good, we give great thanks. And as we know this for ourselves, we know it for each and every individual that comes into our conscious awareness. So in this moment, speak your name. Speak it again. Bring into mind someone who you want to bring into this prayer field and speak their name. These are the names of God. And so as we call these names out, we absolutely turn on the vibration of unconditional love, unconditional good, and unlimited potentiality. Knowing that right where we are and right where those names are, God is. And for this we give great thanks. Knowing that all is well, I surrender this word into the magnificent and miraculous action of love and law. For I know that as this word is released into the law lovingly returns this word unto us magnificently and completely fulfilled. As Scripture would say, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowingly fulfilled. And so fulfilled we intend it to be. And so it is. Amen. Peace and blessings.